The
Who's
Hoosier
your
Pass peaks.
who's your
Who
pass?
who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy? As soon as we agreed on that, that's what kept running through my head. Who's your ridge? Who's your daddy? Who's your pass? Like,
I even have it in the outline,
I
right?
saw that. I'm like, am I right? I'm like, yeah, you are
Yeah,
right.
am I right?
I know you're right.
Who's your pass? Who's
Who's
your
your?
daddy?
That might make it. Uh, Welcome to the Greens and Blues 14er podcast. This episode, Zach becomes a sand volleyball expert. I get cheap gear, and we work through Zach's adventure on Hoosier Ridge. Well, Zach, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great, Eric. Today's my wedding anniversary.
Woohoo!
Woo!
You went out
Yeah.
to lunch with your bride.
Yeah, 16 years.
Yeah.
Um, so kind of a big deal. It's always really great to feel like they're still going well. I mean, you may want to ask her about that, but yeah, pretty happy about that. It's summertime. Things are warming up outside. It's time to get ready to hike.
That's right.
All that is really good. That's the stuff. I'm excited to talk about what we're going to talk about today. But before we do, Eric, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm excited to talk with you about our topic today too. But yeah, congratulations. 16 years, that's you guys can drive? Like that's fantastic. That's
our
wonderful.
our marriage can get a license.
It's you can
Yeah.
get a license now. That's wonderful.
How
ID.
so how far along are you and your beloved?
Yeah, so later this year we will have been married 20 years. So
Woo, got me
that's a
beat.
little while to think about. She's been putting up with me for 2 decades. So,
Man, don't you know it?
no, yeah.
Uh this I mean anniversary is more like a touchstone for what our wives put up with. It's
Exactly.
like, wow, you reached another year of this.
Yeah.
Good good for you.
Yeah.
I don't,
Oh, the
I'm
truth
not sure
hurts.
what you're doing, but hey, this is working out great.
This is we're doing good somehow. Oh gosh, that's great. But yeah, so we were talking a little bit earlier. So my neighborhood had a garage sale this past week, and I'm
Like
normally
everybody got their stuff out kind of deal?
like, yeah, neighborhood organized kind of a thing. So
Ooh.
lots of houses, we didn't sell anything, but lots of houses like on our street and everyone else's streets were selling stuff. And so, and it's organized too. Like they'll send out an email, hey, here's a spreadsheet with each address and what they claim that they're selling. And so
Whoa.
Rachel was like going through with a fine tooth comb. Yeah, anything that had electronics, we might go visit. Anything with camping gear, we might go visit. So I took Zach, our Zach, little Zach. He's not so little. He's
Yeah.
12 now, but
Yeah. Hey, happy birthday, Zach.
yeah, he
Just turned 12.
just 12 recently. Yep. So he and I went out, and the second or third house we went to, I noticed a what looked like a tent on the table, and it looked like it was brand new, never touched.
I
And
love
maybe I,
people in Colorado just
oh
buying
my
gear and not
goodness,
using it.
that's it's crazy. And I thought, okay, it was Kelty tent, looked pretty lightweight, and I was like, I really could use a true backpacking tent. So
Yeah.
I said, what are you asking for this? And she said 25, and I said, I'm walking out of here with this tent, but I said, would you take 20? And she's like, no, we're gonna hold on 25 because it's brand new. And so I said,
You tried
all
to
right.
lowball her on a $20 tent.
That's how cheap I am. But I said, can I at least like open it up, roll it out on the lawn, and just check it out? And she's like, yeah, sure. So it was clear it had never been touched, never been looked at.
Wow.
And so, I mean, you could fit one person in a pack comfortably. You'd probably cram a second person if you really wanted to, but it's really designed to be like a one person, semi lightweight backpacking tent. And so
So
I
what's
walked out of
semi
there with a new
lightweight
tent.
for you, Eric?
So all in, it is 4.5 pounds. I could, leave a few steaks out and be
Yeah.
fine, and probably whittle it down to about 4-ish pounds, I think. So, which I think is doable for me for what I would be wanting to do for, a 3, 4 day backpacking trip. So,
Any lower
Um,
than that, you're getting into the high dollar territory of buying
exactly.
like an ultralight tent, which is usually for two person going to run 2 pounds, 10 ounces
Hmm.
somewhere
Yep.
right at 3 pounds.
Yep.
So, well, congratulations on the find, man. That's
Thanks.
great.
I really got lucky on that one.
My dad, back in the day, he used
I
to,
know where you're going with this.
I don't know, do you? Heck, I don't know where I'm going with this. So, so my dad back in the day when he lived in Denver, he would go, this was like 80s and 90s, he would go to CU Boulder on clean out day, where like in
Oh,
May, because all these Boulder kids would buy gear during the year and they didn't want to store it over the summer. And so they would just like set it out and give it away, or they would put it on sale.
no.
And my dad had like, he's still got a storage unit full of gear from just buying. I mean, it's all from the 80s, but he bought a lot of good stuff that way. So,
Holy cow. That's
yeah,
amazing.
I don't
I
know if
mean,
that still happens, but man,
oh
what a way to
man.
go.
You're tempting me to make a drive up to Boulder now just to see if they do that. I mean, you've told stories before about some of his old tents that were, double lined canvas and they weighed, 600 pounds for a tent. And so that's why I thought you were going with that.
Oh,
Do
we
you,
did have one of those growing up. Yeah.
oh, yeah, I think we all did. So do you have the ability to raid the storage unit that your dad has and see if there's any
I,
gems in there?
I've talked with him about it. He just hasn't been able to get back to Colorado to like
Oh, got
for
it.
him and I. What needs to happen is him and I need to go there together and we need to clear the darn thing out. He hasn't been able to, but at some point we got to get into that because, yeah, Dad's got a trove in there.
Oh, man.
I don't know if any of it's any good anymore, but man, it'd be fun to see.
Oh, for
We
sure. That'd
start
be
like a little museum, little pocket
yeah,
museum right there.
Simpson Museum.
Simpson gear from the 80s. So yeah, well I'm congratulations, Eric. I'm glad you did that. Will you be solo backpacking at all this summer? You think you're going to do it?
My buddy Carl's got a long collegiate peaks loop that he's
Yeah.
doing for several days, so I'm going to join him for a few days of that at least. Beyond that, I'd like to get a day or two out somewhere, but we'll have to see what comes.
Excellent.
Well, Zach, what in the world are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about a couple peaks that I hiked last summer. So these are the peaks that are hiked off to the east of Hoosier Pass on
Who's
Colorado
your
9.
pass?
Who's your pass? Uh, we've been having way too much fun with
I
that
think
one.
so.
So, yeah, these are peaks that are hiked off to the east of Hoosier Pass. So it's Hoosier Ridge and Red Peak. They're fun peaks, and we wanted to talk about them beginning of the summer because a couple things. I think they're for people that want to get acclimated for the year. These are great peaks if you've got a clear weather window. You start at about 11,800 feet and you stay above timberline the whole time.
Mm,
So you're going to spend a lot of your day. It's about a 9 mile-ish round trip. You're going to spend your entire day above 12,000 feet. So it's great for acclimation. And I also think it's a great hike for people that want to dip their toes into hiking 13ers
mm.
that haven't done so yet. This would be like the soft introduction, not like Eric's hiking Long's Peak as his 14er introduction. This is the this is the smooth path into the wider world of 13ers because it's the route finding is minimal, but you're going to get a 13er experience in that you're going to have to do a little bit of route finding. There's not defined trails the whole way. You're going to be on your own a lot. So it's great in that regard.
Sounds like a great cardio workout too. Like maybe if it's
Oh,
not on the super strenuous side of things, then that'd be a good workout.
it's a fantastic workout because as we'll discuss in a minute, it's a bit of a roller coaster. You go uh up and down and up and down and up and down, probably, and one more up and down. Um, so yeah, you've got a lot of moderate elevation gain and loss through the entire trip. And you're
That
spending
sounds,
a lot of time up high, which means great views. So
mm.
lots to commend for Hoosier Pass here today.
Well, it sounds like a rolling good time. Well,
Yeah.
so, my poor pun coming in there. So Zach, what attracted you to the Hoosier Ridge area in the first place?
So the reason I hiked these peaks is this was over July 4th weekend last year. I wanted to go do a backpacking trip into the Sangre de Cristos, which I did, up Kerr Gulch. We haven't talked about it on the podcast, but I did that and I hiked a 13er and I came down and I knew I had enough juice for another 13er or two, but not for like a gnarly one.
Yeah.
And I went through my list. I always keep a list, probably like a lot of nerdy hikers do. I went through my list of like the different kinds of hikes that I had, and this one really fit. It was engaging, but not brutal. And I had a great weather window, and I thought, I'll drive up there and do this. So that's what drew me to it. I'd always kind of had my eye on them. It's easy access. It's right off of Hoosier Pass. So I liked the idea of just being able to drive up and hit these and doing it. So that's what kind of drew me to them originally.
Okay. So you said it's right off of Hoosier Pass. So obviously that's what you take to get there. But what else can you tell us about how you would get to this area, Zach?
So at the top of Hoosier Pass, there's a parking area
Oh
that
gosh.
usually people get to the top of and they take their picture because it's the top of the Continental Divide.
Yep.
It's got sensational views of Quandary Peak and Silver Heels and the 10-mile range. And people stop there and they take pictures and they have snacks and they let their little dog out to pee or whatever. But if you park there and then just walk across the highway, which isn't as dangerous as it sounds, you're on your way. So it's really easy to get to. We've got the Subi scale on here. It's a 0 on the Subi scale. You can ride a Razor scooter up there. You can skateboard to the trailhead. I wouldn't recommend going down off of Hoosier
That might
Pass
be
on
a
a
little tough
skateboard.
going down. Yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of ways to get there, so it's really easy to access. There's other ways to probably hike these peaks, but I don't know why you would. This is by far the most intuitive and engaging route for both these peaks, which are essentially north and east of Hoosier Pass.
Okay. Silly, strange, off-topic question. You mentioned Silver Heels and Hoosier Ridge, both part of the Front Range, but
Hmm.
you also mentioned the 10 mile is nearby, kind of northwest of there.
Yeah.
How close is Hoosier Pass to kind of the potential confluence between the front 10 mile and Mosquito ranges? There's got to be like a triple point somewhere in there. I know the 10 mile and Mosquito gets a little foggy in terms of where exactly that dividing line is, but how close is Hoosier Pass to that point, do you think?
It is that point, I think.
Oh, that is the point. Okay.
I think it's the lowest high point in between those peaks.
Okay.
And so it constitutes the dividing line between the Front Range and essentially the long kind of column that is the 10-mile Mosquito Ridge
Hmm.
or fault or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's through a faulting process that was created. So I think this is the point. So it's of geologic interest, right?
Okay.
Because the Front Range is a separate process of uplift from the 10-mile Mosquito Range. Yeah, that's an interesting question. If you hike the 10-mile Mosquito Peaks, the rock on those is very idiosyncratic. It's very particular to that area. And if you do Silver
Interesting.
Heels slash Hoosier Ridge, you'll notice that the rock there is different. So it's
Fascinating.
different different rock type, different soil types.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's you're dealing with a whole different animal here.
That's very cool. Okay. All right. Well, before we get into the hike itself, any places you can camp near or on the way to Hoosier Pass?
It's gonna have to be on the way because it ain't there. I mean, I guess you could,
In the parking
you know,
lot?
do the the dirt bag routine and sleep in the parking lot. And I think there are people with like the cool travel vans that do that a little bit on the down
Hmm.
low there. But really, you're gonna have to go north or south of Hoosier Pass if you wanna camp. So in the Dillon, Silverthorne, Breckenridge area, there's some campsites along Dillon Dam or along the south edge of Dillon Reservoir there, Lake Dillon. You could camp there. There's really not much on the south side. There's some kind of in the national forest to the south of Mount Silverheels. There's some
Okay.
places there you could go, and you access those through the town of Fairplay. Or you can go even a little further south to our old friend. You can go to the Buffalo Peaks area
Yep.
and drive in there. And that's actually what I did. I camped there and then just woke up early and just drove up to the trailhead because there really aren't that many places in that area. So that is one of the main complications here. You're going to want to have some way of doing that, but you're compensated for it in the fact that the approach to this is not long, right? You're not going to have to spend a couple hours getting to tree line.
Mm-hmm.
You're already at tree line when you start this hike.
Okay.
So for those of you that look at 14ers.com, there's actually a route that Bill Middlebrook has put on there. God bless him. And it shows 3,000 feet of elevation gain and loss. What that really is, a fair chunk of that's going to come at the beginning, about 1,200 feet of it's going to come at the start. But then the rest of that is going to come with the ups and downs of this hike. So you're really not gaining a lot at the beginning. It's not like you're starting at 10,100 feet and going to 13. You're starting at 11,800 and you're going to 13 or
Okay.
13,300 or whatever. So
Well, let's get into it. You want to start talking about your long adventure on this roller coaster ridge?
yeah, it again, for those of you that look at the 14ers.com descriptions or the routes, I heartily endorse this one. A lot of the time, I don't care or need the blow by blow. And in this one, you don't really need it either. The only time you're really going to need it is in the very beginning. Start out east, and you're going to basically just start going straight east and up. At a certain point, you have to exit some willows or kind of work through some willows and attain the first kind of knob along the hike. And that's probably where you're going to pay the most dues in terms of elevation gain for this hike. And 14ers.com has some good arrow wise, like step by step descriptions on how to get through these willows without becoming a part of the willows. And that's probably the most helpful for that. And then the rest of it, the route description is great and just kind of conveying to you this ridge goes on for a while. You get to this first point and it's like 13 something or 12,900. And then you drop down, you lose a few hundred feet. And then you gain a few hundred feet more on the next hill up. And then you drop down and you lose a few hundred feet. And then you gain a few hundred feet more. So you're kind of doing this. It really is kind of a roller coaster. And you're going to do this for close to, 3.5, 4 miles or
Oh,
somewhere
wow.
around there before you get to Hoosier Ridge, which is the name of a peak. It's not the ridge itself. So it's hard to, fluff it up any more than it's just a lot of up and down, but it's a great up and down. It's not so much down that the minute you hit the uphill again, you're like dying.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the right, like, so you get to the first knob on this bridge and then you lose a little bit, or you actually don't lose a lot on that one. And so you kind of traverse across and then you gain a little bit more and then you lose. And each time you're doing that, it's not like you're going downhill so much that your body is like the minute you transition to going back uphill, you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
So it's got a nice flow to it. The one thing I would say in terms of safety is you're pretty committed, not in terms of climbing, but in terms of you are, if a storm rolls in and you are on Hoosier Ridge or anywhere near that summit or Red Peak,
Mm-hmm.
you're in trouble
You got
because
nowhere to go,
there is
probably.
not much escape.
Yeah.
You've got to make sure you've got a very clear window. And as we know, even with a clear window, you better be moving. So you want to be after it. But this is a trail that lends itself to moving quickly if you need to. And you can skirt some of these summits on the east side if you need to. I was never quite sure which one was the summit, so I was just knocking out the tops as I went along.
Yep.
And it's just a great area. There's a lot of ptarmigan up there. When I was doing it, so this was around July 4th, as I said, there were a lot of cool little tundra flowers. My favorite flower in the whole world are forget-me-nots.
Mm.
And there was just an abundance of those. It was great. The only person I ran into on the entire day until the very end was a gentleman taking lots of those cool shots where you lay down in the grass and you get tundra flowers in the foreground and you get all this column of peaks in the background.
Yep.
He was taking a lot of cool pictures that way because the whole time you are surrounded by sensational views if you've got a clear day. Off to your left or to the west, the whole time you've got the 10-mile range and the Mosquito Peaks. To your south, you've got Silver Heels. To your north, you've got the Front Range and the Gores. And, even if you kind of look over your right shoulder most of the time, you can even see out to Pikes Peak if it's a good clear day.
Mm.
Really cool views. I have nothing but good things to say about it. It's not a hard hike, at least if you're semi-acclimated. But even if you're not acclimated, this is a good one to do it on because it's never gonna totally tap you out.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. So I've got a couple of random questions. So you can see all the way to the Gores from there?
Oh yeah,
If you look
yeah.
to the north, maybe northwest, you
Oh,
can.
for sure.
Okay.
Because I mean, the Gores are only what about 15 miles to the north of that. So like the
Are they? Okay.
southern edge of the Gores, well, I mean there's Jacques Peak,
The
but
Jacques is kind of separate.
it's
Yeah.
kind of on its own.
Yeah.
But like Silverthorn and then yeah, and then Red Mountain behind it. That's only like 15, 16, 20 miles away. So
Okay.
the Gores really stand out too. There's a lot of relief there. So yeah, you can see the Gores from there.
That's really cool. Okay. So did you count how many false summits you hit on the way to the Hoosier Ridge summit?
There's four.
Four.
Um,
Okay.
but I mean, they're never like the first one you know. Like when you're walking up towards it, you're like, oh, that kind of looks like it might be as high as the other ones. And then the minute you're on it, you're like, there's no way that's as high as the other ones.
Yeah.
Um, and then the next one you know isn't as high. The third one kind of looks like it might be in competition, and that's where I was kind of confused. I mean, I had Middlebrook's trail description, so I knew what I was kind of getting myself into. I think there's four before you get to Hoosier Ridge. And
Okay.
then you do Hoosier Ridge, and then from there, there's a knob in between Hoosier Ridge and Red Peak. So you're getting two 13ers for the day on this. I would heartily suggest not orphaning Red Peak, although I orphaned another peak, Red Mountain,
Red Mountain. Yeah.
on this hike, but kind of have a decision to make. Like once you get to Hoosier Ridge, you can't make a triangle. You can't make a loop where you go do Red Mountain and then Red Peak and then come
Hmm.
back. You either have to you go the road forks, you go right or left. I went to the right. I picked Red Peak. And when I got back to Hoosier Ridge, I didn't really want to go do Red Mountain. So, yeah, you can do Red Mountain from it too if you want to. Do a 3-in-1 for the day if you so choose. I wasn't quite as acclimated and I had just backpacked 10 miles the previous day and a half,
Hmm.
so I was a little tuckered out.
Well, and that gets to another question I had is looking at the topo map, it didn't look like there'd be an easy way to loop all three of those peaks and then get back to Hoosier Pass easily. It looked like it was kind of a out, out and back, and then back, kind of like
Yeah,
just a whole bunch of backtracking
you've
if
got
you
to
wanted to get all
basically
three.
draw a Y topographically from the sky down. Like you're making a Y as you're doing
Hmm.
it. If you want to
Yep.
do that, there's no way you can. Red Peak and Red Mountain are not connectable.
Right. It didn't
So
look like it.
yeah, your read of the topo, as always, is correct here. So
Even a
uh,
blind squirrel.
it gets his nut every once
Yeah.
in a while. For that time of year, I know a lot of other people too do this to hike to do some introductory snow hiking or
Mm,
snowshoeing, and it's really good for that because the avalanche danger I can imagine would be pretty minimal on Hoosier Ridge.
okay.
You're never below a slide, or at least you wouldn't be once you're on the ridge. So
Hmm.
so it would be good for that as well.
Okay. You mentioned Red Peak. Any particular thoughts about that 13er the day you did it?
I really like the views up there, but for me the feeling I have or the vibe is from the whole hike.
Mm,
It's really because you're up high the whole time. There's never like a moment, when you top out where you're like, oh wow, the view's so much different from here than everywhere else. You're getting a summit. It's a great place, both it and Hoosier Ridge are, I know I always say this, but great place for a lunch. Uh, that's I ate my lunch on top of Red Peak and thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a relatively windless day, so it was really nice. I don't think I have anything exemplary to say about Red Peak
okay.
necessarily.
Well, you've mentioned the good cardio, the good acclimation you can get from these peaks. You mentioned the views. What else besides being on your list of, hey, I just backpacked a whole bunch yesterday and I don't have the desire to do a class 4 20-mile hike. What else did you learn about this hike that you thought, oh, this is really cool. I'm really glad I did this.
I just love hikes where you get high and stay high. where you get up above timberline and you maintain that.
Mm,
It's why I like hiking in the San Juan so much. It's why I like loops. This one's great for that. It's just a good hike above timberline and it's sustained. And like so many 13ers, I only saw one soul on a July 4th weekend on this entire trip. Now, on the way back down, I saw, as usual, trail runners going up the mountain faster than I was coming down it. And I was like, ah, that's depressing. And one of them was like, yeah, I think I can get it all in the next hour or so. And I was like,
oh my
I
goodness.
think I can slash your tires.
You
So,
didn't say that, but you thought
no, yeah, I
it.
definitely thought that. I really just liked, I feel like Jerry Roach when I say this. Sometimes there's a time for just taking it easy and just having a chill, awesome hike for the day.
There you
And I
go.
think that's an awesome, like, you're going to grunt, like, it's work, but I love being above timberline. I love the wildflowers in that area. And I like hiking in tundra. I think that's great. I think all of those commend this. And then you're just surrounded by great views the whole time.
For sure. Well, you mentioned grunt. Should we talk about some statistics and ratings on this hike?
I think we should. I mean, difficulty. I don't know what are we doing a 0 to 5 scale? I mean, it's got to be just a
Sure.
1 on that. Like
Okay.
in terms of I guess it's a class 1 plus hike. There's so little route finding. It's so intuitive. There's kind of a hiker's trail. You'd have to be a fool to fall to like not find your way. Like you're hiking for the highest point and then you just hike a ridge.
I
Like
want to take you up on that challenge. Only a fool could get lost on this. I
I'll
might be able to.
we'll see about that. You'll eat those words. Yeah, it's really intuitive. Like I said, it's a good intro to 13er hiking where you don't necessarily have a trail,
Yeah,
but boy, the path is intuitive. Like you
pretty
know what you're
straightforward.
doing. It's pretty
Yeah,
straightforward.
yeah.
So in terms of difficulty, the only thing I would say that would raise that would be if you've got weather, you might be
Mm,
in a bad way here because every way off the mountain that's not back along that long serpentine roller coaster ridge is going to drop you into a valley you do not want to be in
yeah.
that will not take you back to your car anytime soon. So that's the one thing to consider here is you got to make sure you get up early and you got a good weather forecast.
Well, and you mentioned going down into a valley. I'm sure that it sounds like that valley is still going to be above tree line, probably. So you're still going to be
It's going
in
to take a
danger.
minute.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be something not to tangle with.
Yeah. But in terms
Um,
of grunt, there's the efforculty scale, and we're on the effort part of that. It's a little more grunty,
yeah.
just because you gain and lose elevation a lot. And I don't know about you, but a lot of the time, my body, when I'm just going straight uphill for a while, gets used to it.
Yeah.
And my body, when I'm going straight downhill for a while, gets used to it. And it's the transitions between them that can be a little hard, which is why this is such a good kind of training hike. So, yeah, in terms of grunt, it's a little bit higher. I mean, it's nothing like a backpacking into the Sangres where you start at 8,600 feet and you're pitching your 10 at 11,000 feet and then you're
Right.
hiking to 13 the next day or whatever. But yeah, there's a little effort involved, especially that first, I guess, for lack of a better word, first pitch where you're going to go up the hill to that first knob. That's where you're going to pay your dues first thing in the morning.
So like 1 to 5, what would you give on the grunt scale?
Let's go a 2.5.
Two and a
We're,
half. All right.
we're
Right.
gonna we're gonna cut it right down the middle.
Right in the middle. All right.
Yeah.
And how about views and beauty? It sounds like that would be a pretty high one.
I mean, I don't think we've ever gone below an 8.
I was
Why?
gonna say this.
Why would you? Like, I'm actually there's, Mount Sherman might be a 7 for me, but or a 6, just all the junk up there. But on the day I was there, this was a 9, or a 9.5.
Mm,
You're just surrounded by peaks, great views. There was still a little glaze of snow on some of the 10-mile range. So it's just gorgeous. And the wildflowers made it even better. So, yeah, this is a good one.
sounds like pluses all around. All right, Zach. My favorite part of each
Yes.
episode like
I've been looking
this.
forward to this, Eric. Let's go.
All right. if Hoosier Ridge and even Red Peak, if you want to include it, if they were a song, what song would they be?
Man, this came to me pretty quickly when I was thinking about this.
Oh, wow.
So it's a song that was really popular a couple years ago. I associate it with if anyone saw Top Gun Maverick. This is such a dude moment, but if anyone saw Top Gun Maverick, there's the beach scene where they're playing like touch football on the
Oh,
beach.
yeah. Football on
And
the
there's
beach. Yep.
the I ain't worried about it right now.
Yep. Yep.
That song just I felt like this was such a carefree, fun hike. That song really captures the vibe for me of I know that song's about like, your girlfriend or whatever. You're not worried about it. And I haven't worried about that in a long time.
Yeah.
But just the general sense of like it was fun, it was carefree, it was really easy. I like that. And then, of course, when I think of Top Gun beach scenes, that takes
Oh.
me directly to the original Top Gun volleyball scene
Yep.
with the Kenny Loggins. I had to look this up. I was pretty sure I knew that the song title is Playing with the Boys.
That's right.
Yeah, playing it with the boys. It made me think of, Tom Cruise, glistening sweat,
That's
Val Kilmer with the dog tags and the
Yep.
cool Iceman hair,
Mm-hmm.
Rick Rossovich, who no one talks about, flexing at weird moments.
They're all oiled up.
Yeah, well, all but one, Eric, Goose, Anthony
Oh,
Edwards, wearing
yeah.
the sleeveless shirt because we did not want to see him without a shirt on. Of all the
Oh,
editorial decisions that got made in that movie, maybe the best one.
that
So,
made it. They made a good choice on that one. Yep.
what do you think about Top Gun beach scenes for Hoosier Ridge, Eric? What are your
That's
thoughts?
that's great. And yeah, it's that song. I ain't worried. That's a fun song, and it sounds like it matches really well your experience on Hoosier Ridge, and just any 13 or 14 year is going to take some work, but it sounds like this one is maybe a little on the easier, more carefree, like you said, side
Hmm.
of hiking in the mountains. So I think those are great choices. And that you picked the lesser known of the two Kenny Loggins songs from the original Top Gun soundtrack.
This was not Highway to the Danger
No,
Zone,
no danger
Eric.
zone on this one.
This was
Yeah.
playing with the boys. This is a whole different ball of wax. Although I did think about that too, because like since you never drop below 11,800 feet, I could just hear the voice of, is it Viper or the other guy? He goes, "Gentlemen, your hard deck for this operation is 11,800 feet."
Oh, yeah, good call.
I never drop below the hard deck, man. I don't do it. I don't fly like that.
Good
So
call. Did you do any drive or what did he call it?
flyby.
Flybys on the ATC tower?
I did not request permission for a flyby. Um, I didn't buzz the tower.
Speed buzz the tower. That's right.
God, that's the best. So
Spilling coffee all
yeah,
over.
yeah. So I had some Top Gun moments here when I thought about it, but yeah, I think that it's just a really cool, fun hike that hopefully other people go on and are rewarded with a great weather window and it treats them right.
That's awesome. Well, let's drift into, I know, one of your favorite topics as well, food.
Mm.
So, you have any cool places near Hoosier Ridge to go grab lunch or dinner?
I mean, there's Breckenridge.
Yeah.
I guess Alma's the closest town. I know there's a really good burrito place in Alma that people say, but since I can't consume wheat, I usually don't
Yeah.
eat a lot of burrito in my
Nope.
world. Breckenridge they have that crepe cart. It's like a little cart where you can get crepes, duh.
Yep.
But for me, man, the best place to eat here is on the top of Red Peak. That's
Well,
where I
your
had
lunch.
that's where I had my lunch.
Yeah.
And I would suggest taking a picnic. It was July 4th, so I think it was the first of season peaches and plums that I had on me.
Ooh.
And I went all fruit on this one. I had like three plums at the top of the peak. I had
Holy
one.
cow.
Well, I had them in my pack. I might as well drop some weight, right? And so I ate the first one. I was like, man, that was good. And then I ate the second one. I was like, that was even better. And oh, it's just great. So I suggest a picnic. You can even go Ernest Hemingway, take a bottle of wine and a wheel of cheese up there. But that's what I would recommend for dining nearby is dining on the trail.
Just
That's
bring
what
your own.
bring your own BYO plums, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's great. It sounds like you maybe peaches and plums. Maybe you had a little sugar rush coming down off of Red Peak, eh?
Oh man, and well, I kind of needed it because with all the elevation gain and loss, like a lot of these peaks that we talk about, you don't gain another foot after you step foot off the summit of the mountain. This one, you're going to still gain another 400 or 500 feet because you're going to lose it and then gain it and then lose it and then gain it.
Yep.
So yeah, you got to have a nice, tasty snack to keep you going once you summit on Red Peak.
There you go. Well, Zach, anything else that you want to convey to us about Hoosier Ridge?
Not to quote Jerry Roach, but to quote Jerry Roach, this is a great peak. Go get it.
There you
Hike it.
go.
It should be fun. Yeah, we thought it'd be fun to talk about a kind of easy peak here, beginning of the summer season. We've kind of given a couple intro summer episodes here, and this is another one, I think, in that spirit. I think last summer I did a couple of these. I did Spanish Peak, which is great if you want to be in the Sangres, especially this year. There's not much snow this
The
year.
snowpack is super light this year, yeah.
Like, heck, you could probably go there late May, could have gone there mid-May and knocked it out. So Spanish Peak is great intro hike. And I feel like Hoosier Ridge, another great hike. And then right across the way, North Star, which is on the other side of Hoosier Pass, another great intro hike. So these are all good ones to do if you want to warm up for the season and get ready for bigger stuff.
That sounds perfect. Well, Zach, if anyone has hiked Hoosier Ridge and wants to tell their stories about peaches and plums, how can they let us know?
Well, they can write a haiku and send it to Greens
That's
and Blues
ideal.
Podcast. It's ideal. The old 575. And send it to greensandbluespodcast@gmail.com. They can upload some video of them doing so and post it to my X account if they want to. That's at NMHikerPerson, or Blue Sky is Zach.Simpson. Or they can go to our YouTube page or our Facebook page. Those are both found with Greens and Blues 14er podcast. So lots of ways to get a hold of us. Or you can leave a trail of plum pits on Hoosier Pass and I can follow you like a ragged dog.
That might be the best option if you're so inclined to bring those plum pits with you.
Yeah.
Maybe we should clarify too. So Blue Sky, Zach.Simpson, we should clarify you spell your name Z-A-C-H.
That is correct.
So if anyone is trying to reach Zach Z-A-K Simpson, you're going to find someone that doesn't know about 14ers probably, or 13ers. Is
Well,
my
and if you
guess.
find me, I won't know about them either. But yeah, my parents had the good sense to spell my name correctly. So it's spelled with C and an H at the end. And you guys can't see it, but Eric's losing it here. He's he's trying not to blow milk out his nose.
Oh man, that's
so-
great.
Yeah. So yeah, Zach is the way to spell that. Ary is if you want to yell at me like my mom.
If
So,
you're Zach's mom, then you can add the last.
Zachary
three letters.
Simpson.
Did you ever throw your middle name in there?
Oh, that's when you really, yeah, Russell's my middle name. That's when you really dipped your toe into the deep water right there.
So you better not come out of your room for about a week at that point.
Zachary Russell Simpson does not get said very often. This has been fun, Eric. Thank you guys so much for listening. Happy trails, happy hiking out there, and we'll see you, I guess, on the next episode, or you can hear us on our next episode.
Let's hope so. Who's your Ridge? Who's your dad? Who's your pass?
Who's your pass?
Why does that not get old?
Never, never.
It's like
It's like
fart jokes. It's just always
it's
funny.
like Billy Madison. Chlorophyll, more like
More
borophyll.
like Borophyll.
No, I will not hold your hand.
She
That's
says she
always
wants to hold my hand.
that's always the best joke.
Uh,